again!
Yes, people, another edition of Knightz on the Round Table where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guys, The Truth and Mr. KA with me. How are we doing, people?
Nice,
Good.
man. What's up?
Good. Everyone else is
What's up?
good, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, and before we start, make sure you like and subscribe on the channel. We're getting the views, but the likes have to go up, the subscriptions have to go up. You know the content is going to be coming at all angles all of the time. But we're going back to the NBA finals talk. Finally, there we got Lakers versus the Heat. 2 games have gone by already. Lakers up 2-0 in the series. I'm going to come to you first, Mr. KA. What are your thoughts so far on how the finals have gone?
It's kind of going to note. Lakers are 2-0 up. Hopefully the Heat can make a game of it because I think they're making each individual game competitive, and they seem to be getting closer, progressively getting better. Only lost by, I can't remember, was it by 10 this time round? So hopefully they can be up there with them, but it's going to be hard without Dragic and Bam. But I'm enjoying the series so far. It's not a blowout as people expect it to be. So we can get more into it a bit later on. But yeah, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying it.
That's good. Just to give people a little bit of context on game 1 and 2. Game 1 finished 116-98. AD dropping 34. LeBron dropping 25, 13, and 9. Jimmy Butler dropping 23. Bam and Dragic obviously got injured in game 1, had to leave, hence why the score was a lot wider than people would have probably expected. Game 2, no Bam, no Dragic. 124-114 going to the Lakers. AD dropping 32 and 14. LeBron dropping 33, 9 and 9. And even playoff Rondo dropping 16 and 10. Butler dropping 25. And Olenek dropping 24 and 9. Truth, what are you thinking of how the finals are going so far? I know in the previous talk, we did say that it could be basically going the way that it is, becoming a little bit straightforward for the Lakers. But yeah, just tell us what your thoughts so far on it.
Yeah, we did predict, just like probably the series before, they don't have anyone to handle LeBron and AD together in the paint. I don't think at the moment there's any team that I know that can handle LeBron and AD, especially OKC, that can't handle LeBron and AD in the paint. And because LeBron and AD are so dominant in the paint, it's leaving the rest of the guys wide open for threes. And that's why a team that was poor shooting threes in the regular season and in the bubble, come playoffs, have just been they've been out shooting well-known 3 sides like Trailblazers. They outshot the Rockets at 3. They outshot Nuggets at 3. And they've done it 2 times in this series against Heat. And I think Heat in the regular season were the second best team from 3. I think that's a stat. And Lakers have outshot them both times because team just can't handle AD and LeBron in that paint at all. And it's leaving everyone else wide open. And they're all knocking down their shots. KCP, Kuzma, Rondo, Danny Green, they're all knocking them down. So it's going as I said, we predicted in earlier episodes.
Yeah, and I think what is a prime example of this, what you said about the perimeter shooting of the Lakers is in game 1. Heat tried to play a perimeter, a zone defense to try and stop AD and LeBron getting into the paint because they're so dominant. Obviously, Dwight Howard as well. And we're literally just saying, you lot shoot. We saw people just standing there letting Rondo shoot and forgetting that it's playoff Rondo, Danny Green, Kuzma. I know that if you're going to try and stop the Lakers, I think that's what teams are basically saying what we have to do. Stop AD, LeBron getting into the paint and daring them to shoot from the perimeter because they're basically saying, can you do it for 4+ games? Can you keep hitting those perimeter shots for 4+ games? And considering the fact that the Heat are a perimeter shooting team, I mean, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Chuck Crowder, and all those guys, you would think that that sort of plan would work. But unfortunately, as game one proved, it didn't at all. But just to go on to the Heat, I know they're 2-0 down. If this were normal times, let's be technical about it. If this were normal times, the Lakers would have game 1 and 2 at home. Yeah. They would be expected to win game 1 and 2 at home. Game 3 technically is the Heat's game. So, Mr. K8, are you expecting a sort of comeback or resilience from the Heat, considering they will have home court in game 3?
I don't, I really hope they can draw something from the home court theory, like with the stickers being changed and having like the logos on the sides and stuff.
Yeah,
and
no.
The Heat fans, but it's not looking good, man. The Heat need something that can kind of be an equalizer to Lakers' talent, but usually that's the home crowd advantage because they get you up, they give you that extra motivation, and it puts you into that playoff mode because the playoff crowds are different. So, but I don't know. I'm shaking my head because I'm saying the words where I hope they could do better, but I'm not believing it in myself, man. I don't know, man. We might see Chuck getting out of that broom. They're going fishing, man. They might be going fishing sometime. And I know Butler won't like hearing me say this, but they might be going fishing soon, guys, man. Cancun, get the mojitos ready.
But ask for more at the
Ooh, that's big talk.
I wish I'd be wrong. I wish I'm wrong. To be honest, I wish I'm wrong.
I am a Lakers fan. A bit conflicted for certain reasons that we know. But I do want to see a series. I wouldn't want it to be a sweep. Man. I want to see a series. Lakers have gentlemen sweeped everyone that they've come across so far. But truth, Mr. KA says he's hopeful. If Dragic and Bam come back for game 3 tomorrow, surely we have to see the Heat do something different to get a game under their belt.
Yeah, what they need to do, I think Dragic is going to miss regardless of that. That tear that he's got in his foot, it's not safe for him to play. There's no point even thinking about him coming back and play. It'd be too much of a risk. But this is what the Heat need to do, and this is very important. They have been very slack, and I know they feel scared of the rebounds, and this is why they're not committing to the guys on the free. But they need to start making the perimeter contested, because as I said, you're giving people on the perimeter uncontested shots, saying just shoot the 3. So they have to commit to one thing. At the moment, they're not committing to anything. They're playing zone, and they're saying, okay, let LeBron and AD do what they want, and then let the guys on the free shoot. They can't keep it up, but they're not contesting anything. They're not contesting in the paint because LeBron and AD are just having their way. I think AD got 8 offensive rebounds, which is ridiculous last game. So they have to commit to something. Either commit to the inside or commit to contested shots on the perimeter. Don't just be halfway in between.
Olynyk and Miles Leonard, who's coming in playing more minutes.
Yeah, no, yeah. They can't do anything. I know. So then they have to commit.
Anything, man.
They have to commit to the perimeter then. Like if they can't compete in the paint, they have to commit to the perimeter shot. They can't be giving uncontested shots away like that. I think Lakers shot 47 threes, which is ridiculous, and they hit I think they hit about 16. But letting the team shoot 40-17 when they're not a 3-point team is just, it's a recipe for disaster, man.
That doesn't make sense at all. I think one of the other things that I believe that he have to do. I think in game 1, I think I saw a stat where Duncan Robinson, who's been a revelation this season for the Heat, shot 0 of 3 in 21 minutes in game 1, and you considering that's what you're known for, and you're supposed to be a sniper. That is absolutely ridiculous. And I think it just goes to show what kind of defense that the Lakers are playing as well. Because I think one of the other things that people were saying about the Lakers is that they struggle to play we haven't got perimeter defenders, and
Yeah.
I think what it's proven is that the Lakers are balanced on both sides. When it's come to the playoffs, Vogel, a lot of criticism about Vogel. So at the start, saying why he got the job and whatnot, and who was it? Was it Jason Kidd? Jason Kidd is his assistant, isn't it? And he was going to take over and blah blah blah. And he's done an exceptional job. LeBron obviously leading this team and making AD be the guy of this team as well. So you've got to give credit where credit's due when it comes to the Lakers. But just on the Heat, does Jimmy Butler need to do more, Mr. KA?
What more can he do? Honestly, I don't know. That's why I feel so bad for the Heat, because they just don't deserve to go out like this. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what more can he do. He talked about it going into game 2 about doing more, but like, they did do better as a whole, but they lost by 10. So on the surface, they did better. But I don't know.
Even last game, I felt that Lakers were in control. And if they needed to, they would have just stepped it up and taken away. I never ever felt, even though there's times the score got down to 4 points, I never ever felt the Lakers were holding on and struggling. I thought they could just, because AD and LeBron were so dominant, if it got close, they would have just stepped up and taken over like ridiculously. I never ever felt nervous. So as KA said, I don't know what Jimmy Butler could do.
So listen to
I
his
don't know what
stats
more
here. He played 44 minutes, game 2.
I know, yeah.
He made 91% of his free throws. He made 41% of his field goals. Like, he had 25 points. The next closest point scorer was Jay Crowder with 12 points. Sorry. So it's like, what can he do? He played 44 minutes.
Yeah, it's
like,
tough for him. It's tough for him, and I feel. As I said, I have to be neutral on this, because obviously I don't feel, because I want the Lakers to win. But I feel like the Heat have been unlucky. I mean, losing Bam for the Heat is like the Lakers losing AD.
So much, man.
Like it hurts them so much.
Yeah.
To lose Bam, and I mean he's been in all-star form for this season and playing incredibly excellent basketball. And I think losing him, considering how easy it was for LeBron and AD in game 2 to score in the paint, just goes to show that without him, it's literally just a free-for-all. That's why if you're a Heat fan, you have to be hopeful. So hopeful that Bam can just come in. What is it? Is it the shoulder? It's the shoulder, isn't it?
Neck. He had a neck strain, but he's had this injury since the Celtics game. I think he injured it at Boston, and they rushed him back. So it's just a underlying injury that's been there for a while. So yeah, it's a neck strain.
We'll watch this space.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is. It kind of, because listen, at the end of the day, listen. All right, with my Laker hat on, we want to sweep, want to win it as quickly as possible. But I like having the suspense of a series. I hate when it's too easy. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to go in 7 games. The last time it went 7 games for us, I was literally, Mr. KA can tell you, I was quiet for 3.5 quarters until Kobe did it for us and we got it over the line against the Celtics. So I don't want it going 7 games, but it will be good for it to be competitive. I don't want to see Miami Heat get swept because of the excellent job that Spoelstra and the team has done. But just on the final point on the Heat versus Lakers, Mr. K, I'm going to come to you first. So what score do you expect?
Oh wow, the score.
Oh no, before that. Game 3. What are you expecting from game 3? Before that, what are you expecting from game 3? If Bam is fit.
If he's fit and 100%, I'm expecting a closer game. I'm expecting like with it under 10 points, closer to 5, the winning score. I think Lakers will still win. I think that they've shown it. They showed it against Rockets. They showed it against was it Trailblazers they played?
Trailblazers, yeah.
It's just that they've got their experience. Is just it overrides anything that most of these teams can throw at them.
Yeah.
And it's because of their experience and they know how to efficiently win games and score. It's making it look like it's a cakewalk, but they just know how to play to their strengths and dominate whoever they're playing. And like Rondo needs to get more respect put on his name because they're calling him Playoff P, but like I'm with Rondo. I heard him say he doesn't actually like that nickname because it's disregarding what he does in the regular season.
To be fair, he didn't do much. I know he was injured, but he wasn't doing much in the regular season.
He's had this name for a while, like even that. And to be fair, actually, like when I heard it being talked about, he actually statistically he has been better in the playoffs than most. Whenever he's gone deep in the playoffs, he's been better than his regular season. But that's because again, you have to be more in the playoffs. You have to be more efficient. You have to be more clutch. Yeah. So he's using his experience to like play better. But I don't know. Put more respect on his name, man. Like he's Rondo.
I mean, listen. I got mad respect for Rondo. I mean, I said, like people were laughing when the likes of Stephen A was saying that Lakers need Rondo back when it was the first series against Trailblazers. They were like, yeah, Rondo's coming back, and everyone was laughing. But it's like that experience, and that experience is so important. But secondly, it takes pressure off LeBron because you have another ball handler that can facilitate and create things. And I think people forget about that because, I mean, that's what Rondo was to that Celtics team. I know it was like over 10 years ago, but what he was to that Celtics team. And one thing you don't do is you don't lose that basketball IQ and you don't lose that that know-how to assist and to control games. You might lose something athletically. The jump shot might go, it might fade and whatnot, and the scoring might go down. But in terms of controlling the play, assisting, and that basketball IQ, that doesn't go away. So I think a lot of people now are seeing like playoff Rondo is getting the respect that he deserves. But Truth, what do you think for Game 3 as well?
Second. Okay.
Oh, is it me again?
Now, what'd you say?
What'd you say?
Sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm a bit thrown now because of it was stuttering.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's me because I got a unstable sign pop up. But it's so annoying. It's like right next door.
You're fine.
Are you guys still there?
Oh,
yeah. We're still here.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
We're still here.
Yeah,
technical difficulties, people. Technical difficulties. You know how it is.
Hey, you're gonna edit this all out. You know what? Man said technical difficulties. Now you're gonna leave that all in. What?
What do you mean? It's recorded, isn't it?
This is the bloopers, man. Put it in the bloopers or saying that. Like, man said technical difficulties, and he went back into his monologue.
What do you mean? This is the content that people want to see, bro. It shows the realness.
What was he even saying? I was gonna say something. I've forgotten that. Oh my
We're talking about Rondo.
Oh yeah, I know. What I was gonna say. No, I was gonna say. Should I just like?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, yeah, and one thing as well I was gonna mention. People need to realize how much Dwight Howard is actually bringing to the team in these playoff series. Like he's quietly being an unsung hero, but he's getting overshadowed by LeBron, understandably, by AD. But he's bringing a lot to this team, and like what he's doing, he's allowing AD to be free and to play.
Yeah.
AD don't have to worry about like getting the rebounds. AD doesn't have to be worried about being a shot blocker because he's got players like Dwight Howard, who's stepping up and getting the important putbacks at like key moments. He's got people like Morris, like he's doing a job as well, even though he ain't. He's playing more in the forward position, but he's getting about that. So there's a lot of unsung heroes in the team that's allowing AD to be free. That's allowing LeBron to be free and to do what he needs to do. So
100%. Now
experiences is showing up.
I agree with that, and I think it's shown more so by the fact that Dwight's been put into the starting lineup now, where he wasn't before. So I think that says everything about what he's contributing to the team. Truth, do you concur with Mr. KA? Do you expect it to be closer, and then but the Lakers still to get through Game 3?
I do, because I think the one thing that I do like about Heat this series right now is that they're saying the right things. There's not. What's really impressive is that if you hear Butler speak, he's talking about winning. He ain't talking about, getting better or anything. He's talking about winning the next game. And I really like that. Even though, he may not believe it inside, or, the scores don't reflect that, he's saying the right thing for his team. It's a young team. They need to have that, that uplifting, because the fans aren't going to lift them up. So they have to get it from somewhere. And so they are saying the right things. I don't know how competitive it's going to be. I think it's going to be a sweep now because LeBron is too locked in. Rondo, hear him talking at his post conferences, at his post meeting conferences. Yeah, this guy's stone faced. He's got the Kobe spirit in him. Like, he don't care about the last game. He just
They're
thinking
doing
about
it for Kobe, man.
like these guys are just too locked in for me. Like, the only way that they lose is if they get slack. If they get slack, then they can lose like that. But I just feel they're too switched on. And I know LeBron's going throughout that dressing room saying, this is my GOAT ring, so don't mess this up for me. LeBron will say, LeBron's going out dressing room saying, this is my GOAT ring. Don't mess it up, you're getting traded. Kuz, you're getting traded. KCP, you're getting traded. Don't mess it up, man. This is don't mess this up. Hey, LeBron wants a sweep and he wants that fourth ring. So I know he's going out saying, let's get this done. So I don't know how much Heat are gonna put up. They're gonna put up a fight as much as they can, but it could just end up being a blowout anyway because Lakers are just too good right now.
Too good, man.
Yeah,
we're gonna disregard that GOAT ring comment because all the fourth ring would do is cement that he's second.
First man, three different franchises. I'm
not even letting you antagonize.
Wow,
wow.
He knows deep down.
I know he knows.
He knows
man.
Deep down. No one knows.
Three franchises.
All it does.
Franchises.
All it does is cement that he is second. There's
how
no more.
How much does he need to do?
There's no more arguments because not me. I already know he's second. But you've got people out there that talk basketball that are saying, as of this moment right now, with LeBron, he's still fighting with Kareem for second. I said not me, but that's what some people are saying. So hence why I'm saying the fourth ring with three different teams cements his place at second. However, as far as I'm concerned, you've lost six finals. You're third in the list of most losses in finals. I'm leaving it there. We're not going into that debate. Mr. KA, because Truth already said that you expect to be a sweep. Do you expect it to also be a sweep? Not a gentleman's sweep, but a sweep.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's going to be a sweep, man. I think. I just don't see what Heat can do differently. Yeah. And I respect Mike Spoelstra as well as a coach. Like, he's someone who can actually devise up a plan, but he can write up a plan, but he hasn't got the players to execute, unfortunately. So I can see it being a sweep, which I hate to say, man.
So do I. I don't think it'll be a sweep. I think Miami will get the game tomorrow. I think they'll get the game tomorrow, and then the Lakers will reset and go and finish it by Game 5. I did say it could go 6, but I think, especially with Bam, we don't know if he's going to play, and Dragic looks like he's out for the rest of the playoffs unless it would somehow get to a Game 7, which we can't. No one expecting to see. There'll probably be a gentleman's sweep for the Lakers, and I agree completely with the Truth. I think all like the experience of LeBron, Rondo, Danny Green, Dwight, who've all
Right.
been to finals. They're all locked in, and obviously, as the Lakers and everything that's gone on with Kobe, they're gonna try and do it for Kobe, and we want that to we want that to happen for Kobe. It's well deserved. It'll be well deserved, and it would just cement not only cement LeBron's legacy as second of all time, but also cement how
I think truth, he's ignoring me, you know.
how much Kobe means to the Laker franchise, and how much it means to the players as well.
Yeah,
so it will be brilliant, especially to get it after obviously the tragic event that happened earlier on this year. It was this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's this year. Yeah, earlier on this year. But no, listen, you see Corona, it's got me thinking all sorts.
I know 2020 is like
I don't even know.
Too much is happening.
I don't even know what year it is anymore, to be honest. It's a mad one. But yeah, we will watch this space. Game 3 coming up tomorrow evening. We're expected to see Miami Heat try and come back. Bam, hopefully he'll be fit again. But we'll have to watch this space and see what happens. But we are going to move on to talk about an absolute madness that is Kyrie Irving, and that will be coming up next. Yes, people, and we are back. And can we say welcome to my guy, Tooth? How you doing, sir?
I'm good, bruv. I missed out on the Lebron talk, man. I was going to gun for fucking truth, bruv. I had artillery ready, but you know what I mean? I was moving house today, so, bruv, you missed it, bruv. You were this close to getting it today, bruv.
No, hold it.
No,
we might have to touch base. We might have to touch base on...
Hold fire on it, man. Hold fire. It's going to come soon. It'll come soon.
What?
Don't you just love it? Don't you just love it? But thank you for joining us, sir, as we move away from finals talk and move on to very controversial figure in the NBA right now, Mr. Kyrie, who was on KD's podcast a few days ago and had some interesting things to say. One of the quotes, sorry, I can't. One of the quotes that he came out with was, I felt like I was the best option on every team I played for down the stretch until now. In that he's referring to the fact that he believed when he was at the Cavs and when he was at the Celtics, no matter who was on that team, he was the clutch man for the job until now that he's with KD. Obviously, we've seen the variety of players that Kyrie was playing with. He played with Kevin Love, played with Jason Tatum, played with Gordon Hayward.
Let's get to the point, man. He's hating on LeBron. He's straight up hating on LeBron, man. Like, you're stringing that. Of course, he's not talking about when he was at the Celtics because they were young. So he ain't talking about Tatum. He ain't talking about the other guys there. He's talking about LeBron. He's not going to diss KD like he on his own podcast. So he's talking about LeBron, and Kyrie don't know what he's talking about, man. He's just hating, man. Straight up hating because LeBron, he overshadowed him. Kyrie thought, I'm Uncle Drew. I've got the mad handles, and I should get more of the limelight. I should be taking more of the shots. But enjoy what he did at Cavs, and he made some big shots. So I don't even know what he's talking about, what he's upset about. He's at home, bored.
Bored in the house. I'm not even in the house bored.
Sorry, I just had to say it, man. Kyrie, man, he comes out of all these outrageous, outlandish statements, and he's done it again. Anyway.
Truth. I mean, Mr. KA, as Mr. KA so eloquently put, would you think?
I don't even mind him saying that he believes that he was the best clutch option. That's okay to believe that, okay? But what I'm saying is that the stats don't really back up what he was saying. Max Kellerman said the stats quite perfectly. In the time that he was at the Cavs, LeBron had a higher percentage of clutch shots LeBron shot more clutch shots. And I don't know how much Kyrie didn't seem to have a problem with it then, passing up the shot. So why is he saying something like that now, which is absolutely ridiculous? And it don't matter. In fact, it don't matter. He wasn't the leader of the team. Like, he wasn't the leader. He had a chance to be a leader at Celtic, but we know what happened there. It's Kyrie being Kyrie, man. As KA said, I think he's bored at home. He's watching the finals. She's like, damn, my dad's up on TV. No one's talking about me. I need people to start talking about me. And look what we're doing. We're talking about him. Yeah, that's his dad day. That's why LeBron wants to get this sweep over and done with, so he can get home and get that belt out and start giving him some licks and beat some respect back into him. But
well, the statement was posed to LeBron. LeBron obviously declined to comment. Obvious reasons.
Because he didn't die. It wasn't directed at LeBron. He was like speaking sort of just generalizing his statement. So everyone's putting two and two together, and obviously he's talking about LeBron.
I mean, let's be realistic. He wasn't sending that to Kevin Love. He wasn't talking about Jason Tatum. Because the thing is, he didn't even play in the playoffs for Boston. They got to the was it the semifinals? Was it conference semifinals last season? Yeah.
Last year,
or was it the finals?
Semi.
Yeah, conference semifinals without him, when no one really gave them a chance.
No, they got to the finals without him.
Yeah, conference finals. Yeah. Got to the conference finals and
Game 7.
I mean, at the end of the day, he wasn't there, so he couldn't have been talking about the Celtics. And I said, you can't be talking about Kevin Love. You can't be talking about J.R. Smith.
And Tristan Thomas.
You know what I mean? Larry Nance Jr. Like, so it could only be that the shots are being fired at LeBron. Now, I don't have an issue with what Kyrie said. Mm-hmm. If he wants for me, I like the confidence. I like the fact that he has the audacity to say, I should be that guy. I think the two issues I have with this statement is, one, if you believe you were that guy and you were generalizing, you didn't call nobody's name out. So you could have been, in everyone else's eyes, you could have been talking about the Cavs, you could have been talking about the Celtics. You could have been, so you were that guy on the Cavs, you were that guy on the Celtics. Why are you now not that guy at the Brooklyn Nets if you have all this confidence? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. If you're gonna be that guy, like, you're never, like, as much as KD at Golden State obviously joined the winning team, KD would never come out and not say that he was the guy in that team, even though you had Steph and you had Clay, and on a defensive side you had Draymond. Like, KD wouldn't be trying to.
You know why he's saying it, bro?
Because he's jealous.
Because he's playing with the best player in the league, bro. That's why. Listen, bruv, look, KD over LeBron any day. Kyrie, my boy, I'm riding out with him on this statement. LeBron ain't shit, wasn't shit without Kyrie. They needed Kyrie, the Cavs, to win that fucking chip. Fuck everyone. That's it.
Wow.
This guy wants to get censored, man. Come on, man.
Fired. Come at your boy, bruv. I want all the smoke. Come at me.
Man. Drop it in the comments. Tell us how crazy he is, man.
Hey, listen, yeah, and also I think he's playing a bit of mind games, because we all know this year's championship ain't worth shit, bruv. It's a bubble fucking pickup game. It's the LeBron Invitational 2020. It's all about next year, bruv. Watch this space, bruv. Kyrie, KD, they're winning this shit, bruv. One time. That's
okay. We'll carry on. We see how much you agree with that when we get into the next topic about what else he said.
Yeah. That's true.
No, yeah, it's true now, isn't it? Okay.
No, the coaching thing.
Yeah. And that's your boy as well. That's your boy, fam, Mr. Nash.
Nash, bruv, yeah. Like, do you know how many times we grilled him? Like, what was it, 2 years ago? When
I like you talking about him on football. What's he doing on football? Hey, he was learning, fam. He was learning his lesson. He's gonna bring them strategies into the NBA.
As we were trying to play 4-4-2, bro.
Oh,
But
man.
I'm just hoping that he picked up some sort of stuff from Sean Marion because that was a winning team. That was a winning teammates that he played with back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, my days.
The GOAT, Sean Marion, bro.
No, don't get ahead of yourself, man. Not
Anyway,
practical, but-
going off on a tangent there, but yeah, the other thing that I would say about that irritated me about this comment is, what were you doing before LeBron came to the Cavs? Because you couldn't. The Cavs were nowhere before LeBron went back home. And this is the thing. I love Kyrie. I mean, I think he's an all-star player. I think he can be the second in command on a team. Obviously, him and KD now. And I agree with what you said. I don't expect him to win it, but I expect them to wreak havoc next season in the regular season, and we'll see what happens in the postseason in the East. But I just think it's nonsensical. I think he's just done it to try and get under LeBron's skin, trying to put LeBron off of bringing the chip to the Lakers. Yes, bringing the chip to the Lakers. Like, Tooth, I don't know why you're making that face for. Like, you already know, man.
Are you mad, bro? No one gives a fuck about this shit, bro. This is a glorified pickup bubble game, bro. There's no animosity, there's no pressure, there's no crowd, there's no hecklers. Everyone's doing gay fucking handshakes. Everyone's friends, bro. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. This is the lowest viewing finals. Game 1 was the lowest viewing. That says it all. The fans don't give a fuck. The fans.
Why was that? Why was that?
Because no one gives a fuck.
No,
bro.
because it was on a Wednesday. Number 1, it was on a Wednesday when it's normally on a Friday night. Number 2, what else was on that day? What else was on that day?
What was on?
What else was on that day? Wednesday night. What happened Wednesday night with the
debate,
presidential debate?
Rob, listen, check this out, yeah. In
65 million viewers for the presidential debate, fam. Come on.
Rob, listen, check this out.
And I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna lie, it was more entertaining than the game because Trump and Biden going head to head was some good stuff. So
tell you to shut up, like.
Rob, let me tell you this before I go out for a quick cigarette, Rob. In 1994, when Jordan retired, yeah, that was the lowest viewing game. That was listen, I have to bring my boy the fucking GOAT in, bruv. When Jordan retired and the what was it? Rockets played New York, yeah? That was the lowest viewing final, game 1, up until this point. And bruv, that final was interrupted by the fucking OJ chase, bruv. Do you know what I mean? So there we go. And that's
what's your point?
That still got more views than this shit, bruv.
I've said why though. I've literally just told you why.
Are you really comparing the OJ chase police to Trump, like presidential, like?
Rob, do you know how big
Let's
OJ?
Move on, man. Let's go.
No. Do you know how big the OJ case was back then, bro?
Do you know what I said? 65 million viewers tuned in to watch Trump and Biden go head to head, fam. What? Like it doesn't even matter. Like, it really doesn't even matter whatever stats or thing you come up with. 65 million viewers tuned in.
Rob, listen, there's a hardcore NBA fan base out there that will still tune in to that.
You think people care about NBA game compared to the thing of their country? Are you crazy?
Bro, there's people that will still the lowest view, bro. You can't deny the fact you could put whatever icing on the cake you want with it. It was still the lowest view.
As I said.
Bro, this is all I'm saying. If Jordan was playing in this fucking NBA little pickup bubble game and there was still a presidential debate going on, it would not have been the lowest.
So you think next year people?
The fact that
you think
Trump was a part of it. Anyway, let's.
You think next year? You think next year people are going to say, "Oh, Lakers won the chip"? But guess what? In game 1, it was the lowest viewing game 1. Who thinks about that? Who thinks about the lowest viewing figures?
Bro, they could twist the narrative.
Anyway, come on, let's jump into the next thing that he said, which is more important.
They could twist the narrative however they want to twist it. No one gives a fuck about this season, bro. It was cute. The little bubble thing was cute to begin with. Everyone lost interest by this point, bro. And it's definitely not got to do because of the presidential debate.
But like how your comments have got nothing to do with LeBron being there. If it was anyone else, you would be. Oh, the bubble.
Of course, bro. Of course I would. Because, bro, I'm not a fan of this fucking no animosity fucking bullshit NBA like gay handshake. Like, what is this, bruv? There's no animosity. There's no rivalry. There's no interest. Bruv, imagine watching WWF and everyone's doing gay ass handshakes and hugging each other, bruv. No one will be fucking watching that shit. It's not interesting, bruv. You could say presidential debate. You could put, bruv, the fans have spoken, bruv. It's got nothing to do with the presidential debate. The signs of this were coming, bruv. Do you get what I mean? It doesn't even feel like a final. There's no traveling. There's no energy. There's no nothing.
So what?
That's got nothing to do
I know
with on the court.
What do you want to do? What do you want to have them to do? Not play?
Yeah.
Cancel the seat.
That's it. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on.
I mean,
this guy's just upset that it's LeBron's got to the final.
I know.
Right.
He's about to win.
I mean, him and Kyrie could definitely hold hands. I mean, honestly, going back to what we were talking about, let's move on swiftly to what else Kyrie said in this podcast. And his words were, I don't really see us having a coach. I mean, well, we all know Steve Nash has been appointed as the Brooklyn Nets head coach. His first job, no experience coaching. Truth, I know for a fact that even if you're Cristiano or Messi, you still need someone to guide you through it. Same, Jordan needed Phil Jackson, Kobe needed Phil Jackson. You know what I mean? I mean, what do you think about
everyone?
What do you think about that? Kyrie said we don't really need a coach.
When I heard that, that's when I started to think this guy's actually smoking. He's smoking some because look, I'll tell you what, no, because other stuff that you say, you're just like, oh, he just had, too much Ritalin as a child. He just needed to, get under control. But now he started mixing those drugs, and now it's starting to become a real issue. Because when you start talking like that, that's going past arrogance, man. Saying, and no, shall I tell you what's worse? KD co-signed that shit. KD co-signed what he said. He's like, yeah, we don't. What does that even mean? You don't need a coach. I can be the coach. KD could be the coach. What does that mean? Like, I don't understand. You're telling me that these guys are going to be running plays. Nash is going to be like, oh, we're going to do the pick and roll with KD. Kyrie's going to be, no, I feel like I can do the pick and roll today. I'm going to be doing, like, is it going to become like that? Like, what was he actually on? And it's a recipe for disaster, man. I know you said you didn't expect them to win the chip, but if you have KD and Kyrie and the pieces, that team is going to be expected to get a chip. Like, it's not a building season. You don't get KD and Kyrie and don't expect say, oh, we're building. Just like the Clippers didn't get Kawhi and Paul George and said, oh, it's not championship or bust. Next year is championship or bust for them. And you can't be saying those ridiculous statements, man. It's a bad. I mean, you started yet, and it's already drama.
KA, what did you think about when you had that?
Oh, do you know what? I just shook my head. I'm like, it's Kyrie being Kyrie, man. It's like, how can you, before his first day on the job, disrespect your head coach like that, man? And now you expect them to have a harmonious season where they coexist.
I know. Mm-hmm.
Like, in the back of his head, Steve Nash is just going to have that. Like, this guy is just looking at me like I'm an idiot. Like when they're down 10 and he's like throwing his arm like, do this, do that. And it's like, you just know he's going out one ear and out the other. It's like they're just not going to listen to him.
It's true. I think that statement's already set up Steve Nash to fail.
Yeah, it has. It has.
If it doesn't start well, if it doesn't start well,
KD co-signed it. Like, that's the two biggest stars.
Yeah, I don't know what KD. The thing what I heard, I think Stephen A said it well. He's like, look, KD follows. It's like in school you have that the bad child that does like bare mad stuff, and he's got his friend who's not bad, but he follows him like no matter what. And that's what it feels like in this situation. KD is saying those stuff is just so out of character to say you don't need a coach. Like, I expect a crazy person to say that, but for you to co-sign it, and you know, this is why no matter how great KD is as a player, I don't want people talking about he's the best, because you know that kind of stuff is a strike against your name, man.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for me is I don't want Steve Nash, great player. We all know that. Don't want to set him up.
Commentator as well, man. If you guys watched the Champions League 2 years ago, my man was breaking it down. Do you know what I mean? He was talking about timeouts and fucking. You get me, bro? Pick and rolls. I'm like, bro, this is Spurs versus Ajax. What the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, go on. Sorry.
No worries, bro. No worries. But yeah, and obviously he has no experience. So my whole thing is that even before Kyrie and KD have set up to fail, I think the Brooklyn Nets have kind of done that, because you're sending a guy in that has no coaching experience whatsoever and basically telling him, you must get this team to win the chip the first season in. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And the candidates that were out there that were out of a job, I mean, Ty Lue could have had that job. Let's be realistic. Ty Lue could have gone there and done the Brooklyn Nets job and been able to handle. I mean, he had Kyrie at Cleveland, and obviously having KD as well, we were able to do something. And I think if you had someone of that ilk, don't get me wrong, Kyrie comes out with some mad stuff, but if you had someone with the experience and the knowledge of Ty Lue, I don't think that statement comes out his mouth.
No way.
But
no way.
Because it's Steve Nash and it's his first job, Kyrie's just basically trying to go on like to say he's some gunman and he can do he can do whatever he feels like doing, and it adds to his reputation, because he's already got a reputation of being a problem. Creating problems, creating issues. I mean, Boston Celtics couldn't wait for him to leave. They couldn't wait for him to leave. Obviously, he left the Cavs because he didn't want to play under LeBron anymore. Because obviously, going back to the first statement, he felt like he should have been the guy. But Kyrie's just Kyrie, man. At the end of the day, he's gonna have to try and, what's the word I'm looking for? He's gonna have to try and create some sort of harmonious circle amongst every atmosphere amongst his people. And I
got a picture of like them all in a prayer circle now. Like,
he might have to, man. I don't know how he's going to just being him. Like, I don't know, because even remember last year he already started the rubbish with the Nets. The stuff that used to say, "Oh, we need more," and that. Like, you're not even here. The guy was injured he played like less than 20 games, and he's saying we need more. Nets actually done pretty well this season, considering you know what they had. There had a few people had a breakout. So I think Dinwiddie,
Dinwiddie,
he had a good breakout. So you know they done pretty well. So for him to come out and already
the playoffs, like he wasn't even there, but he tried to disrupt the bubble. Like, he was like, "We're not going." Like, he tried to.
I don't know. I think, as I said, as I was saying to the guy, I think Kyrie, you know, when he's younger, he was done in that Ritalin, fam. He's that child, man. I'm telling you.
Listen, man, all I'm hearing is all this Kyrie hate, bro. Y'all need to lay off Kyrie hate, bro. Do you know?
He does it to himself. He does it to himself. The joke is, he's actually a baller. He is such a baller.
Listen,
he is a baller.
Eyes, bro. Listen, circling back to the whole situation at the Cavs, bro. Yeah. He should have been given his shot, bro, to lead that team, bro.
He was. They didn't get anywhere.
Listen, you know he was there before LeBron, yeah? He had his chance.
Before LeBron, he had his chance.
I love it. I love how I provoke every one of you, bro. This is what you need.
Listen, and truth, you know my feelings towards LeBron, but I have to call it how I see it, bro. And don't get me wrong, I love Kyrie. Like, I mean, the guy's handles are mad. Like, he's got one of the best handles I've ever seen in basketball. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And he can do everything. Don't get twisted. He can do everything. But the problem with Kyrie is, first and foremost, is the injuries. The injuries is his biggest problem, and his attitude is the second thing. If KD can get this guy to stop the nonsense, right? And if Kyrie,
KD's not a leader.
KD's a follower, man. KD's a follower.
Like, so Kyrie's going to be the bad influence on KD and like just have them go down.
Well, my whole thing is that KD has to. because at the end of the day, for KD to cement his legacy, he has to win this chip with the Brooklyn Nets, because everyone disregards his chips with Golden State because it was a super team. Now, we can talk about LeBron, and yes, I completely agree. You could disregard his Miami Heat ones because they were expected to do it. But what they weren't expected to do, and you have to respect him, is the one that he got with the Cavs. That cemented his legacy, beating that Golden State team. We can talk about Draymond getting thrown out, and we can talk about Iggy being hurt and Bogut and all that and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, he came back from 3-1 down to win that chip 4-3. So that cements his legacy. KD's got to do the same thing with the Brooklyn Nets. He's got to go there. He's got Kyrie and he's got pieces. He has to go and win a chip. When he goes and if he goes and wins the chip with the Brooklyn Nets, that then puts KD in these conversations, because we know
coach of the year should go to Kyrie as well, because I don't see Steve Nash bro. You know what I mean? Kyrie is coach of that team, bro. Leave him alone, man. Let him
what you saying? Hey, no, that's another. Wait. That's another thing. That's another thing. Because remember, the chip that obviously LeBron season lost last season at the Cavs, bro. When they were saying he was basically the GM, the GM of that team, bro. Kyrie's trying to do one better. He's going to be basically saying, I'm going to be the coach and the GM, and we're going to win the chip as well, bro. So you can say LeBron wasn't doing the paperwork and doing the stuff.
I'm telling you. I'm by the way, like, you can't compare Durant's chip to LeBron's chip. LeBron, yes, it was a super team, but he went to a franchise that, you know, I swear the season before, I don't know if they made the playoff team the season before. They weren't even playoff team the season before.
Who?
Heat the season before. I can't remember if they made the playoffs or not. I can't remember. I can't think. Was that the season where Shaq still there?
Didn't they win with Shaq and Wade, bro?
Yeah,
no, that was 2000. I think that was way before, because Shaq went to LeBron's the only guy that couldn't win with Shaq. But anyway, carry on.
But Durant going to that Golden State team was overkill. Overkill. And that's after he lost a 3-1 lead to Golden State himself. So that move was always seen, and this is why he's going to get a bad rap, a weak move. So as TJ said, he has to prove it with the Nets that he can win, and that's why there's going to be pressure on him. Because now he's a lead. Now he's supposed to be a leader, but we know Kyrie's leading the team now.
You man are moving the fucking goalposts, bro. Because when
that's what you do, man.
Even with the 3-1, you know, when LeBron was 3-1 down, and you know, you could talk about the fucking injuries to Golden State and the refereeing decisions. You know what I mean? All of that stuff you could talk about, and the fact that they needed a game 4 on Father's Day, because that's never happened before, to not have a game. A game on Father's Day, yeah. So they did. Do you know what I mean? I think it was a little bit political, as they do it with LeBron. They do give him favourable cause. All right. So you're moving the goalposts, because didn't LeBron at fucking Cavs have somewhat of a fucking good team on him as well? Do you know what I mean? Who
was Love? Who was Kyrie before?
Love was seen as the face of KA, correct me if I'm wrong, Timberwolves, was it?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was at Timberwolves, but he was the face, but still.
You doubling down. That's cute, bruv. Oh, he wasn't the face, but he was, bruv. He was the fucking dude that Tim. Bruv, when he left, everyone was.
Did he have a chip? Did him and Kyrie have a chip?
No.
Bruv,
exactly.
Bruv, but it doesn't matter. He still had the
Kyrie, Clay, Draymond,
D Wade had a chip. D Wade had a chip, and so did Ray Allen,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he joined the team with 4 players who were the Iggy MVP in 2015, Curry unanimous MVP, the 2 best shooters, Draymond all defense. Okay, he joined a team that was fully stacked, giving them a full team. That's why no one could compete with them for the next 2 years.
Yeah, but then when he didn't play against Toronto, bruv, look what happened, bruv. The rest of the team couldn't do fucking shit, bruv. They would have won
that if Clay was fit, man. Come on.
Bruv,
even if Clay was fit, they would have. If Clay was fit, they would have won that. Come on.
You see, when KD came on, bruv, until he fucking ruptured.
I know, because KD's overkill. But if Clay would have been enough to win that chip against Toronto.
But then again, we're moving the goalposts here because there was other players on LeBron's team that had won a fucking chip as well. So who gives a fuck about Clay?
I'll tell you one thing, and this is a statement, and I know it's true here. If LeBron's name was Larry James and he was white, what white person would ever say anything bad about LeBron?
Bro,
What white person? No, shall I tell you why? Shall I tell you why? White people would have loved LeBron and would let anyone say anything about him. But because he's black, the amount of attention and hate this guy gets for no reason. This guy doesn't do drugs and women like magic. He doesn't flipping do women like Kobe did. Rest his soul. He didn't do gambling like the great Michael Jordan. He didn't retire 2 times like Jordan. He did, he avoided all of that. The guy's building a school for young black people that's doing amazingly well. But people hate LeBron. Why is your hate on LeBron? Tell me your educated response for hating LeBron.
I could give a fuck if my man was a fucking UNICEF ambassador, bro. Fuck him, bro. I don't give a fuck, bro.
Exactly. And then there's people that hate him for this no reason. Bro, give him his dues.
There's a clear reason, bro. He went at the GOAT, bro. He went at the GOAT, and that's it.
Exactly. And we should cherish it. Why are we against someone trying to achieve greatness?
Because
he's trying to achieve greatness. He's trying to achieve greatness. We should be cherishing it. As I said, if he was white and white people saw him trying to achieve greatness, he would have been flipping bigger than God by now.
Bro, I can't speak for white people.
There would have been a religion of LeBron. Everyone would be bowing down to LeBron. But because he's black, we just hate. You know what? Kenny Smith didn't even put LeBron in his top 10.
No, it was Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce didn't put him in his top 5. Kenny Smith, the one on Inside the NBA, didn't put him in his top 10. Paul Pierce, we know Paul Pierce. He tried to copy my name, The Truth, but he's anything but. you know he's anything but. Man said he was better than D Wade, man. Paul Pierce, get out here. Like why are people hating that LeBron is trying to achieve greatness?
First things first, you can't be going at my boy Paul Pierce like that, bro.
I will go at Paul Pierce. He's a joke.
Listen, my man got stabbed 7 times in a fucking club. The next season he played every single game and fucking tore it up for Boston Celtics. And
that's his excuse for only winning 1 chip. Guy has rolled off that 1 chip for his entire
career. Anyway, as much as we love, and we absolutely love when we all go at it, right? There's a different time and a different place for it. But people, as I say over and over again, this is the advert for what comes up. We're all opinionated. We all got something to say. It gets heated. But the one thing that we can say is that the content is always good. The information is always good. And everyone has an argument, regardless of whether you agree with it or not. But we are going to wrap up that segment. We're going to go into our final segment. We're going to take a breather, have some water, woosah, and we're going to go into Doc Rivers taking over at Philly. That's coming next. Yes, people, and we're back for the final segment on the NBA, and we're going to be talking about the man that was just let go by the LA Clippers a few days ago. He's back in work already, signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. 5-year deal coming like transfer. He came in the transfer window. Got a 5-year deal to try and get the Philadelphia 76ers.
Was it 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years. 5-year deal.
Whoa, okay.
We are talking about the man himself, the truth's boy, Doc Rivers. Clippers at Clippers for 7 years. They decided that his time was up. He's gone to the Philadelphia 76ers. KA, I'm going to come to you first. Is it the right fit for Doc to be going to the 76ers?
Yeah, no, I think it's a good fit. It's a good landing place for him. Like 76ers have still got.
Come on.
No, it's not like they've still got kind of like they've got a name to them. So it's not like he's in the lower leagues. He's been where he's like in football in terms of soccer terms, he's gone to manage.
Let him go back to G League, man.
Did man just say soccer, bruv? Did man just say soccer?
Well,
for our US counterparts.
for our US, I said football first, and I threw in soccer because they might be confused. Like NFL, what is he talking
Yeah,
about?
man, we got US fans, man. Come on, man. Tooth, get with it.
They need to learn the language, bruv. What the fuck is soccer, bruv?
Soccer.
Anyway,
Let's go.
carry on.
Basically, yeah, actually, basically, he's not like he's gone to manage in the G League or like he's gone to manage, I don't know, like the
He should.
Charlotte Hornets or something like that.
He
But
should.
He's at a team that has got a name to them, so it's a good fit in that where he's like his name is still at the top upper echelons, kind of like playoff teams. So yeah, it's a good fit in that sense. Just to answer the question and not go off on a tangent, but I'll save that till later.
Truth. I mean, Doc is inheriting 76ers team with Embiid, with Ben Simmons, with Tobias Harris, with Al Horford. I mean, they've still got components of a very good team. Why do you disagree that it's not a good fit for him?
Look, I'm all for affirmative action. I'm all for black guys getting, or boys getting a chance at these jobs. But it still has to be the right guy. He's 7 years with Clippers, 3 playoff games won, 7 years, and I'm talking about 2 sides that he had that were championship contenders. Chris Paul, T-Mac, Blake Griffin earlier this year, Kawhi, PG, Pat Bev, 2 six men of the year, Lou Will and Montrezl Harrell, and you've only won 3 playoff games in 7 years. How long until we start saying this guy is overrated? Don't get me wrong. He won a chip. Yes, he won a chip with probably one of the best sides of that decade, which is an embarrassment really because he only won 1 chip. With that Celtics side, that should have been a dynasty, at least minimum 2 chips, minimum of 2 chips. So how long are we going to keep on putting this guy up saying he should be getting the high level jobs? And to me, he's gone to the worst place because he's gone to an underachieving side. The one good thing that people won't expect as much from him, but he's gone to an underachieving side. An underachieving manager going to underachieving side is just a recipe for disaster, man.
I get what you're saying. I actually do agree with a lot of things, but he's had to deal with so much over the years in terms of his team. There's always been.
Cry me a river. Whoa. I had the finals MVP. I had a top 5 two-way player playing with him, and I can't get past the second round. Come on.
Okay, yeah, that's now. But like back in the day, like when he was at Houston, he had an aging Yao Ming, and he had an injury-prone T-Mac, Tracy McGrady. When he was at Clippers in the early days, he had a team that was just the infight, and there was too much disruption with Paul George and Blake Griffin, like
Chris Paul. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Chris Paul.
Yeah, Chris Paul.
Yeah. Chris Paul. There was just too much going on, where he had a lot to do with. But then at the same time, I agree with you. He is underachieving. Like for his status of like he's one of the best coaches. He's won like X amount of games. He should have done a lot more with his team. And even in that Celtics team, you could say it wasn't him that.
I know.
It was KG that was like he dragged them there. It was the truth, putting like his energy, putting Boston on his back. It was Rondo doing what Rondo done. So you could say that, yeah, he has underachieved and he hasn't lived up to the myth that is Doc Rivers. But I give him the benefit of the doubt because he's had a lot to do with where on the court things happening off the court has just interrupted his tenure. It's made it difficult for him.
So how do you believe he's going to handle a team now that's underachieved? He's got Embiid. He's got Embiid's fitness. The guy Embiid, he's not a professional in terms of his fitness. He loves after every game going on Instagram. He's typing up Instagram before he even gets in the shower. Saying something on Instagram. him and Ben Simmons don't even talk. Apparently, they didn't talk for a whole year. Him and Ben Simmons. So
No,
you
I
know,
agree with you. I agree with you.
it's not a,
22.
it's not a good job for him to, like, for me, if he's gonna go to a team, he needs to go to something like Pacers, just one of those sides where he could build up young people to become playoff contenders.
No, he needs to go to like a Heat, Miami Heat right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, those a young team that can become playoff contenders, but going to someone like 76ers, who because of they got big names.
Process.
I don't even know they're in the process. I don't even know what they're doing. I don't
That's
even know
the process. Like, they're still trusting the process. Like, that's going on for like how many years?
Oh man, so I don't think it's a good fit, to be honest. And the fact that he said he's got 5 years, TJ, that was shocking to me. I thought it was a short term, but 5 years.
No, it's a 5 year, and I think that sets the precedence. It basically says it's either Doc's way or you're out, sort of thing.
Yeah, basically.
And as much as I agree, he's underachieved a lot. And I agree, there's a lot of things that he's going to have to fix again at the 76ers. I think if he can get Embiid fit and playing in the post instead of thinking that he's some shooting guard, always trying to shoot from three and dominate like how he's supposed to. I think there's a player there. I think if
I know you're going on, man.
I think they're too set in their ways. Like
I think the longest thing that's gonna take the longest is trying to get Ben Simmons to shoot. I think that's gonna be his biggest problem.
Oh man, to
get Ben Simmons to shoot. But if we're being realistic, if he can get Ben Simmons to at least try and shoot next season, and develop, I mean, you got a man there that could carry that dynasty for the next however long if he develops a jump shot. That's how good he is in all other areas. To facilitate, to build play. Defensively, he's a monster. In the paint, he's good. I mean, if he can develop a jump shot, like kind of similar to the way how Giannis has developed over time, I think if he can do something like that, he'll have an absolute monster on his hands. We're forgetting that Tobias Harris's best time was at the Clippers under Doc.
Well.
And you know what I mean? So if he can get him shooting as well, I think Doc was before Al Horford, innit, at Celtics. He left. Yeah, he was before Al Horford, so I don't think he's worked with him. But there are things there that Doc can work with. And we've got to remember, obviously, season just gone, they got bounced in the first round, which is terrible. But in last season, I mean, it took a Kawhi shot to bounce off all three posts to kick them out of the conference semifinals. So we know that the 76ers are capable of doing something. It's just a case of Doc trying to unlock all the rubbish that has gone on in this. And I mean, if anyone can do it, I mean, Doc Rivers has the experience to do it. But KA, realistically, what is your expectation for Doc and the 76ers next season?
Conference finals. That's the only thing that they can. Yeah, minimum. Why are you making your face like that? Minimum conference finals, bro.
What do you mean? They could get to the conference finals.
There's like one more round.
Wait, so Nets are going to be in next year. Ollie Dapper's going to be fit for Pacers. Heat are going to be older and stronger.
Don't mention the Pacers. The only real people they've got to compete with is Raptors, Heat, and Celtics. That's
Bucks.
If they keep Giannis.
Sorry, I forgot about Bucks as well. But yeah, but then that's it. If Giannis can stay fit, if Giannis can stay fit, then Bucks will have a chance. But they showed this year that the previous year was an overachieving year. So what version of the Bucks is going to turn up? So what? Okay, so yeah, you mentioned Nets, but this is going to be Kyrie's and KD's first year playing together with a new head coach. You got Heat. Okay, hopefully they can take a next step up. Celtics, yeah, we know what they can do. That's how many people are really going to really be challenging them?
The only reason I don't expect them to do anything for any time coming soon is because I believe with a 5-year deal,
But they're already there. They just need that push.
I think Embiid's gone. I think he's gone either this season or because he said he doesn't know about his future. It's up to Doc to convince him.
Yeah, now they have to ask him again because.
But I believe Doc has to make a choice. Do I build a team around Ben Simmons or do I build it around Embiid? And that's going to be a decision he has to make. I don't like them playing together, to be honest. As I said, there's no relationship. And I know Kobe and Shaq did it, but Kobe was a relentless winner. And look, eventually they couldn't handle it no more. Eventually even they had to leave, but Kobe was a relentless winner. Embiid and Simmons don't have that same kind of mentality, that Mamba mentality that Kobe has. So yeah, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even make the playoffs next year.
Oh my days!
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
There's nowhere near enough teams in the East for them not to.
Surprised.
There's nowhere near enough teams in the East.
Okay, truth. List the teams that are gonna beat them.
I'm not even saying that there's teams better than them. I just think they're just not gonna be as good.
So you don't think you don't think Doc can get them to come together to at least make the playoffs?
Man,
this guy,
stop lying to yourself.
Guy, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
He's not with an established team. Not with an established team. No, not with a team that's just not professional, man. Do you not see how they performed in the second half of that?
Yeah.
Not in the first round, in the second half of the season. After they were so poor. They started off okay, but then it just got worse and worse as the season got on. And I just don't think they're gonna coexist. As I said, I don't think Embiid, either Simmons or Embiid, are not gonna be there come next season. It's up to Doc to build a young side for me. It's better to build a young side, not an established side. And for me though, that doesn't match the 76ers profile because they had a process for how long now? About 5 years they had a process for now. So yeah, maybe I'm being a bit harsh now to read the conference, but I don't see them getting past first round. Definitely next year, not past first round.
KA?
I said, man, they have to make finals.
I disagree with the truth. I think that they'll definitely make the playoffs, no doubt about that.
Easy.
I just can't see how the East has not got that depth. If we were talking about the West here, then I think you have an argument. But the East hasn't got that depth for them not to make the playoffs.
What seed was 76 of the season? Were they fourth?
Sixth. I think they were sixth seed. I think.
Wait, they were sixth seed. Wait, first was
who they got?
Second Raptors, Celtics.
Was that TJ?
Fourth were Pacers, isn't it? Fifth were Heat.
Because Raptors bounced them out, innit?
No, Boston. They lost to Boston.
Oh, was it Boston?
They lost 4. I'm looking at it now. So Milwaukee was 1.
Yeah.
Raptors was 2. Boston were 3. Indiana were 4th.
Pacers.
Miami were 5.
Yeah.
And Philly was 6.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Boston bounced them.
So they were 6. They were 6th seed this season. Imagine that they were 6th seed this season, and you're saying it's impossible that they may not make playoffs with next season.
But that's still got Doc now. Doc's gonna bring that experience.
What experience?
No, but come on, be fair. He's an underachiever when it comes to the finals, but he makes the playoffs.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He knows how to make the playoffs.
He knows how to make the playoffs, and I agree. They'll make the playoffs. What will happen? We don't know. Obviously, there's many question marks around this Philadelphia 76ers team. Will Embiid still be there? Will Ben Simmons still be there? Will they have to learn to coexist? What will Doc do with the other pieces? Can he get the best out of Tobias Harris? What happens to Al Horford? Because he was being crucified last season for the way how he was playing for the 76ers.
He was shocking.
Yeah. Can they get a couple more shooters in? All these questions are going to have to be answered by Doc, but he's taken the mantle. He needed the job. He's got 5 years to try and build on the process. So we'll definitely have to watch this space. But I want to say thank you to my guys, Tooth, The Truth, and Mr. KA for joining us. Thank you very much, guys.
Peace out.
Again, as we say all the time, more content is coming all the time. We've got the transfer window closing in football. NBA finals could be done by next week. We've got Khabib and Gaethje coming up. We've got Dillian White, Povetkin too. AJ's coming out as well. Fury Wilder. I mean, there's so much to talk about. We got the French Open final coming as well. Could be Nadal and Djokovic. We'll definitely be talking about that if that's what the final's going to be.
Okay,
It's going to be a lot, and more stuff are coming out. So make sure you like and subscribe. Tell your aunties, tell your
subscribe, guys. Comment,
guys. Comment. We want the comment. We want you to tell us what you want us to do. We want you to be giving us them statements that are going to make the truth go absolutely mental. We're going to want you to make those statements that are going to make Mr. K actually argue for once. We want you to make those statements.
I'm the president. I'm the calm president here, man. Like, just calm, cool, collective all day, man. Unless you come for OKC.
We need to get Mr. Africa like some coffee or something, bro. My man,
he's lucky we didn't do this after OKC lost the Rockets.
I'm a solemn guy, man. I'm just relaxed. I'm cool, man. You might think I'm asleep, but I come with them straight facts. I don't. That's it, man.
Facts, you know?
Yeah, man. Just don't sleep on OKC, guys, man.
Well, we are always sleeping on OKC, and don't forget, people. We are the regular faces, but we are going to be getting. We might have an appearance from Cooking with Rash at some point. We might bring him back on the show. We've obviously got other people coming on as well, depending on what we need to talk about. So there's going to be a lot going on. So as I said, like, subscribe, share, tell your auntie, to tell your goldfish, tell your goat, to tell your other auntie, to tell your dad that we're on here.
LeBron.
We got the GOAT debate coming up because I'm sick and tired of this nonsense because they're just trying to annoy me. But yeah, guys.
You've got him as your screen, mate, your background.
There's no debate. After this ring, there's no debate. I'm telling you.
Two. We're not going to lower ourselves to their standards.
He's gonna have it across the floor for that fist.
We're not going to.
I was punching my screen too hard. Jeez.
That was karma for speaking blasphemy. That's what that was.
Bro,
come on, man.
It's always when we try to close out the show, these two clowns come in and
let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
I like the fight. They think they got the last laugh, the last word. Nah, mate. There ain't. Listen, there's only one go, and that's Sean Marion.
That's it. And on that note, mate.
On that note, we will say peace out to the man. Then one more thing, Tooth. Your boy's winning 3-1, and we're gonna end it there. Say Maxi to the world, mate. Peace out.
Jeez.
Boom.
Man, I say Maxi.